The man who never closed his door. There was once a man who lived at the edge of a quiet village. His home was modest. Nothing remarkable. One room, one table, one chair beside a small window. Each evening, before going to sleep, he left his front door open. Not wide, just enough. When people asked him why, he always smiled. In case something important arrives during the night. The villagers thought it was strange. One laughed. Nothing ever comes. Another said, if something wanted to enter, it would knock. Years passed. The man grew older. Still, every evening he left the door slightly open. One autumn afternoon, a traveler stopped outside the house. He looked at the open door and asked, "What are you waiting for?" The old man answered, "I don't know." The traveler smiled. "Then why keep opening the door?" The old man looked toward the hills. "Because some things only visit those who expect them." The traveler sat quietly. Neither spoke for several minutes. Finally he asked, "Has anyone ever come through that door?" The old man laughed softly. "No." The traveler appeared confused. "Then wasn't all of this pointless?" The old man shook his head. "No. It changed me." The traveler frowned. "I don't understand." The old man folded his hands. When you live expecting nothing, eventually you stop noticing everything. When you expect no beauty, you stop seeing beauty. When you expect no wisdom, you stop listening. When you expect no mystery, the world becomes ordinary. The open door was never for a visitor. It was for my heart. Silence settled between them. The traveler stared at the doorway, then asked quietly, "So the habit mattered more than the outcome?" The old man nodded. "Much more. Expectation changes perception. Perception changes attention. And attention quietly shapes a person's life." The traveler remained until sunset. Before leaving, he asked one final question. "What do you think people have closed their doors to?" The old man answered without hesitation. "Wonder. They no longer expect to encounter it. They rush from one obligation to another. They fill every empty moment. They explain every mystery. They reduce everything to usefulness. And in doing so, they slowly become blind to the sacred hidden inside ordinary days." The traveler looked toward the village. Children were laughing in the streets. Wind moved gently through the trees. Birds settled into their nests. Nothing extraordinary was happening. Yet everything suddenly seemed extraordinary. The old man noticed. "You see it now." The traveler nodded. "I think I do." The old man smiled. The world changes very little. It is our attention that changes. We become so occupied with pursuing the next thing that we forget to notice the present one. And eventually, we stop expecting life to speak. The lantern hanging beside the doorway flickered as evening arrived. The traveler stood. Before walking away, he did something unexpected. He left his own door open that night. Not because he expected a visitor, because he no longer wanted to live with a closed heart. There is an old habit slowly disappearing from the world. Wonder. Not childishness. Wonder. The willingness to admit that not everything worth knowing can be measured. Not everything worth seeing can be photographed. Not everything worth experiencing can be explained. Some things can only be received. Perhaps wisdom is less about finding new answers, and more about reopening doors that have quietly closed inside us. Because hearts rarely become hard all at once. They simply stop expecting light to enter. One evening at a time. If this lantern reminded you to leave one door open within yourself, then it has served its purpose. The world has enough noise. Perhaps what it needs now are a few more open doors. Until the lantern is lit again. Shalom.